We have an urge to get to someplace as quickly as possible. However, there are speed limit signs in place legally preventing that from happening to promote driver safety. In this video, I'll personally experiment to see if it is worth saving a few minutes to drive within the posted speed limit rather than going over it, risking a speeding ticket.
Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, literally, and for my speed limit experiment video that I'm going to be trying out here is that I'm going to be starting at the intersection here in Maumee, Ohio, at the intersection of South Detroit Avenue and River Road, right at the stop line marker at the little four-way stoplight intersection here. So I'm going to start off by going at the posted speed limits to my destinations front and back, and I'm going to be doing the same thing by going 5 miles over the posted speed limit, same thing, front and back to my destinations, and lastly do it by going 10 miles over the speed limit front and back to my destinations. So let's get ready to start out my drive by going at the speed limit to the funeral home right now. Okay, so I'm about to line up at the stoplight here at the intersection of River Road and South Detroit Avenue as I come up to the stop bar here. So the light just turned red, gonna wait for it to turn green, and then we'll start our timer, which you'll see of how long it takes by going right here at the posted speed limit of 25 miles an hour, and then after that 25 test, do 30, now. So go 25 miles an hour, I got the cruise control on, and 25, and that was awkward. Okay, we go 25 miles an hour throughout the majority here of the outskirts of Maumee, and then it'll start to clear up by getting into Monclova Township outside the park of Riverview Park or something like that, Riverside Park, which is a city park that is right by uptown Maumee, Ohio. So as you see of my kind of ghetto setup of my secondary camera, it's an Akaso. It's not like a real GoPro, but it's an Akaso Brave 4 or something like that. It's like a GoPro, like a Kiro 6 or a 7, but it's not a GoPro like this guy here. It's a GoPro here in black that I'm recording inside the car. So currently we got no traffic front and back behind me. So going at the legal posted speed limit, I'm pretty much in a legal way, not obstructing anybody, even though if I'm obstructing anybody, they'll be the ones going over the speed limit and in a legal sense, break the law because they're over that legal speed limit. So pretty much a good chunk of people throughout Ohio and especially Michigan, people are kind of jackasses there. When it comes to speeding down here, most of the time they are going about 5 miles over the posted speed limit or 7-8 miles an hour on this very stretch of road, even though they are breaking that speed limit. And if there's a cop that's in the area, usually Maumee, they're kind of strict on like speeding enforcement and stuff like that because, well, small town cops, they got enough better to do compared to the big city cops in Toledo, Ohio, which is Maumee is part of the Toledo, Ohio metropolitan region if you don't know the geography or this area in general. So we're coming past the Maumee River here, and I think it got roughly a mile or so to go until I reach uptown Maumee, which is kind of like downtown in a way, but not a true downtown. And speaking of Maumee, I am been actively like recording footage and stuff like that and analyzing Maumee's traffic with the radical fight against traffic that has been brewing up in the area, like slowing cars down, and reducing their main road, which is Conant Street, which is the connecting like main street that connects from Maumee to Perrysburg, Ohio, another small town bordering the Maumee River. And they had that street go from 4 lanes, 2 in each direction, down to 1 in each direction, meaning that there's 2 lanes in total throughout the entire stretch of road, which hasn't been much of a popular opinion by most of the locals here in the Toledo region. Okay, so now we got a car coming up ahead, behind me, a Hyundai. They're going over the speed limit, but how will they react because there's double yellow lines? I'm pretty much gotta go the speed limit because, well, the speed limit sign, and to not really screw up this experiment here by having any like discrepancies by speeding up for this guy's pleasure or their likeliness want me to go over the speed limit because everybody does so. Unless there's a cop, then you go below the speed limit or at the speed limit, just don't go over it. And here's our 20-mile-an-hour sign. Let's see if I can take it at 25 because, well, I've been driving down this stretch of road through work every single work week. So 25 through the curve, no problem. And I took this at 30 miles an hour before and a little bit over 35 and not much of a problem. And here we come up to the uptown section of Maumee. So here's one of the entrances to Towpath Park, I believe, one of the connecting parks to the Riverview Park. I forgot the name. And we got a cyclist. Don't be a dumbass. You got a stop sign. Okay, good. Because usually cyclists are kind of like the jackasses sometimes where they just don't care about stop signs. They roll through them or whatever they want to do. So stop sign. I'm going to do a full, legal, complete stop regardless of traffic. So I'm not blowing through the stop sign and having this discrepancy. So stop line, stop, go. That's a legal stop rather than the old California roll going 5 miles over the, not 5 miles over, but go 5 miles an hour past the stop line, just look if there's like any traffic and just go through it regardless if there's any cars or not. And that little traffic island too, that's also brand new with that traffic island that is a little addition to this project of trying to calm down traffic and fight against the traffic to promote pedestrian walkability and pedestrian safety around here, as you can kind of see of how kind of narrow this street is. But once I get more footage and everything else in general of the area, especially with the construction that is about ending at 475, which is about a few miles away from here, it should open up within the next like week or two as I'm recording this, which hopefully with those on-ramps and off-ramps being open, this should kind of cut traffic down a little bit in the vicinity, hoping to bring down some traffic on Conant. But seeing that the school week is also coming up too, Conant Street and the surrounding side streets is extremely terrible when it comes to traffic picking up kids from school, and especially, well, first dropping them off in the morning and picking them up from school. Stop sign, go. And I believe I hit the up button on my cruise control. Let's see. Yes, brings me up. So 23 into 25, still posted 25, and we just passed the outskirts of uptown Maumee, and we're pretty much halfway there, I believe. So yeah, with the fight against dirt traffic at Maumee, they also happened to won one of the popularity contests, called this thing called a Strong Town Award or the Strongest Town or something like that. And they won the 2024 Strongest Town like championship popularity contest, something like that. And one of their headlines is that they won by fighting against traffic. Yeah, that's kind of side cut Metro Park. That's the path. That's the park there. And here's a stop sign coming up. But yeah, they won the Strongest Town Award. And according to the headline by the Strongest Town, like tournament manager guys, they mention about them cutting back on traffic and possibly helping them win the contest. Full stop. This is 35. So I'm going to speed up a little bit and then prepare. So 25-ish and then 35. Good, right on the money. So 35 through here now, since we got that big bump in the speed, and I think it's 35 in the sections of side cut. Yeah, 35 up here too. So with that Maumee traffic video, like I said, I'm still getting like footage and kind of analyzing traffic of like major traffic jams or how construction could pretty much kill that street in terms of like drive time, waiting like you're in frickin' Los Angeles or something like that. The 101 freeway, this and that. So I was aiming until late August they'll have the video done, but it could be at the end of August to early September, especially when the off-ramp and on-ramp of 475 and the Anthony Wayne Trail, which I believe is US 23, once that opens up and hopefully kind of bring some traffic down, even though taking the 475 ramp, you're kind of adding at least 5 minutes of drive time to your destination if you want to go from Maumee to Perrysburg or Perrysburg to Maumee, vice versa. And we're also getting a little bit more towards the semi-populated parts of the park. It's just a right-hand turn, but I got my foot over the brake, which will also cancel the cruise control as well as avoiding anything. Somebody running out in the street, an animal like a deer or a car pulls out, cuts me off, this and that. Which I'm going to be having to do this by going 35 miles an hour to 40 and eventually 45, but let's see. They're up on these people on the swing, but nobody on the bike and walking path here. I mean, it's more of a biking path and a general like pathway for the parks and everything. These two in a bench, these two in a bench, so no like major foot traffic or bike traffic or nothing like that in the vicinity. So 35 here, it will turn into 45 into Monclova Township once we formally leave the corporate boundaries of Maumee. Okay, so we're approaching the Monclova Township border here and about to be leaving Maumee's township, or Maumee's corporate boundaries. I got a motorcycle coming up a little bit quick, but this is still 35 up until this point here. So I'm gonna set off cruise control, accelerate a little, and 45 now. Accelerate to 45, 44, 45. Now the posted speed of 45 miles an hour throughout this small stretch of road until I turn right at one of the side streets there and end up at the funeral home. I'm just gonna probably stop at the under like gantry thing, kind of like the little entrance you go under here. And for my original stopping point, I was gonna be right here at the apartment complex here, this apartment complex. That was gonna be my original stopping point, but seeing that we got a good stretch of road going 45 miles an hour, I thought it'd be a little bit of a better idea to travel down this stretch of road a little bit more and go from there. And Stit. This it? We got a Beamer. Ciao. I should plan this more, damn it. Okay, it should be this street coming up. There's a little bend in the road, and I see Dutch Road, correct? Dutch Road. I see it on my Volkswagen's speedometer here. It's a Volkswagen Passat SEL Premium with the 3.6 liter VR6 engine with a damn check engine light because of a catalytic converter issue that I have, but it seems pretty minor. It's mainly catalytic converter, which I believe is the only problem when I plugged the OBD reader in and it came up as the code for like some evap or catalytic converter leak. So this should be it. So here's the sign of an incoming intersection. Turn off cruise control, turn signal on, brake, and 50, but this should be the street, right? Enter Corp, here, where the Hyundai is going. So right, driveway, right again at the funeral home, and get ready to just stop right here, stop at the parking spot, and time. I don't have it like set on my watch or nothing like that, but in terms of recording time, it claims 15 minutes in terms of me with the microphone, 15 and a half, 45 on the freaking Akaso camera, and all that stuff. Now we do the same thing by going at the speed limit, going back to our destination at the stop line. So seeing at the stop line where I started my first time, I'll stop the time pretty much. My front bumper aligns with that stop bar on the other side of the road. So I'm gonna be going eastbound and seeing that westbound's over there. While I'm traveling eastbound, once my bumper crosses the line at the stop bar, that's gonna be calling time going back to my destination at the speed limit. Okay, so getting ready, everything's all set. So getting ready to start things off here in 3, 2, well, drive. 3, 2, 1, go. Again, going at the speed limit, and here's the Hyundai that pulled up at the frickin' McDonald's, and yes, you can turn left here. So left turn we go with a legal stop. So there's a car here, a little Ford, he's turning right. Traffic is clear, and we got a stop sign up ahead, so I'm not gonna go the intended 50, let's just do 35-ish. Come to a stop sign, left signal, and again, 45 miles an hour throughout this stretch of road. Can barely see, clear. Quite a bit of shrubs right there. So we go accelerating up to 45 miles an hour. Good, so save my last cruise drive, 45 miles an hour it is, until we get up to the Maumee's corporate boundaries. It drops down to 35 and into the residential road areas in Uptown Maumee and River Road, 25 miles an hour. And then same thing, 5 miles over, front and back, then 10 miles front and back. And this little Chevy Equinox that's behind me, this SUV, has been following along, but they're going at the speed over quite some time. Well, I give props to this driver behind me that they are keeping a fairly safe and legal following distance behind me as I'm going to speed limit. And I believe so is them too. They're probably going to speed limit also as I'm doing this too. So 45 here, one more time at this downhill should be the signs for 35 miles an hour. So I'm going to turn off cruise control once I see a 35 sign. So this is the intersection up ahead, 35 sign up ahead. So by South Jerome Road, off on cruise control, downshift to 4th, downshift to 3rd. Do some of that engine brake power. 35. Good. And then regular drive mode. Good use of the engine brake and everything, which pretty much nobody in America does that. It's only like Europeans or people that have manual transmissions, which is a rare sight to see in the United States with my DCT, DSG, dual clutch shafts transmission here, 6-speed DSG auto. So it's kind of interesting how I went from, well, me driving a freaking Volkswagen Passat, the VR6, and then being over in Germany at the Nürburgring vlog, which was my first video and everything, which I kind of took it semi-easily and everything, which was my first experience of driving at a very high speed in person in my life. Going at an average speed of like 80, 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour in some of the curves and everything else at the roughly 16-mile, 24-kilometer track in Nürburgring, Germany, which I spent a vacation in Frankfurt and went on over to the Nürburgring track like near the end of my vacation, seeing that my brother-in-law is in the army at the visiting Wiesbaden base. And car backing up. Let's see, do they recognize? Yes, they appear to be recognizing. Good. Didn't want them to back up and come out in front of me and cut me off. And they're behind me. Good. So yeah, I visited Wiesbaden, Germany and Frankfurt, Germany with the Nürburgring vlog. It was just like the first week-ish of my 10-day trip with my family, some of my family, and then just my mom, nephew, and I, just our side of the trip was visiting the track and experiencing it for the first time after using freaking Gran Turismo, BeamNG Drive, and that little racing sim game at the Dodge Viper Simulator, which used Assetto Corsa connected to an actual Dodge Viper at the 2016 Detroit Auto Show. And it did fairly well, just some corner cuts, exceeded track limits, cutting through that little chicane by Alder Forest, I believe it is, that little curve past Schwedenkreuz. So little bits of hiccups and wall hits, but not like the majority of people that just hit the wall and just try to get their ass back on the track that they had to be resetted many times back to the starting line. So into stop sign, yes, 25 at the stop sign. So off cruise control, prepare the brakes, brakes. Slow it down to a full legal stop as there's an incoming car justifying my stop and the one behind me that's been following along decently. Good. Speed 25, get up to the speed. There we go. 25 miles an hour it is, not 26, 25. There we go. As cruise control is also 25 and my foot being over the brake too, in case something were to happen in sake of an emergency. Okay, next stop sign, off cruise, brakes right away. So here we have a Buick Encore. So let's see what happens in a four-way. Stopping, full, I'm first. They went straight and they look too. How about the little Chevy? Normal. And there's a car turning right and crap, stop. I thought I had it, but never mind. Damn, look at that curb rash. This straight lane is a little tight, I'll tell you that, but not too tight like there were in frickin' Germany, how I drove a car there and actually experienced the Autobahn going a whopping 210 kilometers an hour, which is about 130 miles an hour in a Volkswagen Tiguan with the 2-liter TDI, damn son, the 2-liter TDI diesel engine. See that diesels are quite popular and more common-ish in Europe than they are in America. And if you were to get a diesel here in the US, it's got to be like a semi-truck, maybe some TDI, Volkswagen's, German cars, European cars, or like the frickin' Cummins, Power Stroke, like your Dodges, Fords, your pickup trucks pretty much in common area. Okay, got the red hand, so come to the green now. Clear at the intersection. And I'm just gonna just not go to cruise control, but we got a stop sign up ahead and the new island that prevents people from traveling straight and kind of cheating the line a little bit to use that left turn lane, which surprisingly, left turn lane is very popular compared to going straight. So bicyclist, ran a stop sign, but no traffic. I mean, you can, I don't know what's the true legal status when it comes to riding a bicycle and like encountering a stop sign like that, whether if it's a two-way, four-way, or whatever. Even though the intersection was semi-clear, not like freaking Zero Enigma. If it's clear, then GTFO, hit the back when your browser, cry about it type of person. The intersection was semi-empty. Well, it was fine. Her pretty much run a stop sign. But if you're coming up to like, let's say right here, like this guy comes up and comes at me, runs the stop sign, where they just flat out run the stop sign and expect you to stop for them, like jam on the damn brakes and pretty much cutting you off like an ordinary car would, just running a stop sign like that. I mean, there's still a legal status in place where they got to at least probably make a full stop regardless, because in a legal definition, they are still considered a vehicle on the road. They're not a motor vehicle like this car, but a vehicle in a way, in a legal definition by default of what a bicyclist is and how they're defined in a legal standing point. So legally, you could probably get away with running a stop sign, but it's kind of like up to the cop pretty much. If it's like wide open, no cars coming, then they could probably just let you go, just didn't see it or whatever, and go on or stop you. It's up to the cop pretty much, I guess. All right, coming up to some traffic. Let's see. Is the red car going to stay? Cool. And we're about to be coming to the finish line here, and there's a bicyclist, so give him the 3 feet of space. Nice signal. That's why you're a Bengals fan. Hashtag Evan McPherson carried you, not Joe Burrow. So still 25. And I'm going to come up to the stop line at the other side of the road, which are going to be ending off our time. And am I like semi-drag racing the bicyclist on the sidewalk? And now making the pass. Went from being in the street to being in the sidewalk, even though legally they have to be in the street, but I can kind of get being in the sidewalk to not get hit by a car and all that stuff. So here's the stop bar. Here's the intersection. Prepare to stop the time. It's right here. So next one. And good. All right, I'm going to pull over here and get the time. It looks like about 14 minutes. About 14 and a half minutes coming back to where I first started by going at the speed limit. So now, well, my camera here, the Akaso front camera, the speed camera is dying. So do the same thing. I'm going to try to change out the battery. Do the same thing by going 5 miles over the speed limit. Okay, light just turned red. I got the battery changed on the speed camera, my speedometer cam, basic ass cam with a basic ass like Velcro scraps just gettily put on top and everything. So stop at the stop line. Well, first, 3, 2, 1, go. 5 miles over the speed limit. Nobody was behind me, so I wasn't really obstructing any traffic. So 5 miles over the speed limit. 30 it is now. 30. So this stretch of road from 25 as the legal speed limit, now breaching the legal speed by 5 miles over, which will be the same thing throughout this stretch of road here. And then once I reach the 35 mile an hour zone, I'll be going up to 40 miles an hour. And at the Monclova Township, I think it's 50 miles an hour at 45. So yeah, 50. So go 30 here, which is pretty much fairly common. A lot of people in Maumee travel like this stretch of road of River Road. They tend to go about 5 miles over the speed limit. And my camera good? Stand by. All right, even though I got the horizontal lock, but I was kind of angling down. That's good. Well, I don't want to show the damn camera too much, like I'm a hardcore distracted driver on a phone or something stupid like that, but we're all good. I got a straight stretch of road, but kids, don't be this distracted in real life adjusting a damn GoPro. Got my foot over the brake and been driving for years, but just don't be hella distracted like I did. I was about to say, people tend to go 5 miles, 5, 7, 6 miles over the speed limit on this stretch of road on River Road here most of the time. Sometimes they kind of go within the speed limit, like a couple miles over or 5 miles over, they want to really save some time. And even the saving time part, if you're driving this slow and you were to bump up from like 25 to 35 miles an hour, that's where you really start to see like your time like improving with getting your destination a little bit quicker compared to going from like 40, 45 miles an hour to like 50, 55, like going 5-10 miles over the speed limit on like a more municipal road or some form of like basic interstate highway system, like the I-75, I-80, I-90, I-475 in the Toledo metropolitan region, like all that, where it's usually like 60, 65, depending on where you're at, or within the downtown municipal like region, like the downtown region, where they tend to drop it at 55, I believe, including like sitting for like Cleveland, Cincinnati, Columbus, all the big cities in Ohio. They drop the speed limits in the deep municipality regions and not like the outskirt regions. But at high speeds, you don't really see a big difference saving time, but speeds like this, in a scenario like this, you tend to do so, but that little increase of speed, despite having good brakes and everything, you're kind of like throwing a little bit more caution to the wind in case you have to brake for something, like a damn kid runs out, a dumbass looking for an insurance scam, somebody cutting you off, or sometimes go at the speed limit, there's like a little bit of a better chance of you having, of course, the better stopping distance and a better chance of avoiding them if you have to like swerve or brake hard to potentially avoid a collision with a vehicle, object, or a person, perhaps. And now this wannabe 20-mile-an-hour flashing sign, take this at 30. I've taken this before, so use my Nürburgring skills, and there's a car, times 2. Yeah, front wheel drive power, mate. When I did the frickin' B-roll footage where I first did the experiment, like get an idea like how feasible this is, I'll show you some B-roll footage off of my real camera, which is a Panasonic camera with a big ass zoom and everything. I did some B-roll footage, and I took that corner kind of fast, and I had to hold on to that camera, like legit hold on to it, and try not to, like, you know, have the camera fall over and break by traveling at a high speed and making that corner at a fairly high speed, like that you see here in the video of just doing exactly what I'm doing here. But this was before I had the dash cams put in, because I wanted to have the rear dash cam installed after replacing the window tint and everything, seeing that this is a well, these windows are tinted with the side windows as well as in the back. I had to replace the back window tint because the dealer, where I bought the car in Michigan, they had the little temp tag sticker stuck on the back window, and I kind of had some residue on the tint, so I had to go to like a little shop in the area, like a little detailing shop, where they offer that window tint for free, rather than paying up for the window tint with the labor, parts, everything, all the fees that's for it. But pay for the tint, and I put the rear dash cam on as so. Same thing with the front dash cam, which this dash cam here is a Viofo A119 or A219 or something like that. It's an A1 series. I think it's a 129 series, A129 Pro or a Duo, which is just the front camera and the back with these dash cams. And even kind of throw this out too, the traffic is not that bad. There's nobody behind me, nobody in front of me. It's like 7:46 right now. I kind of chose like the midday evening hours of the weekend because, well, one, I work and everything now. I have a freaking full-time job being a part-time DoorDasher and use YouTube as like a supplement income because I love my parents and all that stuff. Rip to me. Okay, so we got 40 miles an hour. So here's a 35 sign, increase to 40. Now. So yeah, I went from being DoorDash for over 18 months, about pushing 2 years. My friend of mine had recommended me to try out DoorDash than just flat out working for a job, like flat out from the back, because one, it's tax free, but you still got to pay taxes for the 1099s and all that crap. Same thing with YouTube, you still got to pay 1099 taxes at the end of the year, file those before the government whoops that trick on you. And it was doing pretty decent. I worked like a few days of the week along with YouTube. Like I was posting videos on my main TRIZE channel of over 17,000 views, my gaming, like automotive racing sim channel of Automation, the Car Company Tycoon game, BeamNG Drive, and similar games too, of over 17,000, almost 17,500 subscribers, to here, now running a IRL, like borderline automotive vlogging, experimental this and that type of channel that I'm doing here as like a side project. And I'm willing to try to balance out my life schedule of me having work 9 to 5-ish, a day shift Monday through Friday, and having some of the time on the weekends like this of doing stuff like this in person to get this channel afloat and my main channel afloat too. Get some ideas flowing on that channel, record the videos as so, and edit as so on the weekends. A lot of the damn jobs that I was applying were, I was literally applying for like 8-9 months after college. Well, I took like a few months break, like 4 months break after college, and started applying jobs after my 4 months. And I was getting like freaking like my applications being denied, this and that. Go to an interview, or sometimes have a phone session, a phone interview as a precursor to a real in-person interview. Like you go to a phone person interview, talk to the HRs and the hiring managers and everything, generally HMs, the hiring managers, and kind of talk about the job, your roles, everything, like a quick phone session. And it's up to the HMs and hiring managers, for sure, if they want to escalate you to be more of an in-person interview candidate and potentially land you to an in-person, like legitimate job once they send like an offer to you and the drug screen and everything and give you a start date and you're hired. So 45 it is. So off here, still going to maintain. Now 45 sign into 50. Accelerate to 50. Perfect, right on the money. It's best to look at the actual like needle speedometer than the thing on the screen here that I got set up with the camera. Okay, now I'm preparing to approach Dutch Road at this time. So here is the sign once again, the incoming intersection on the right, off on cruise control. Nobody behind me except for that little Explorer that went past me. Turn signal on as so, brake and brake, make the corner. Nobody in the vicinity, and ignore that 50 sign right there at the corner of my eye. And here comes the sun. Right turn signal because McDonald's is up ahead. Here they are. Brakes again. Nobody at my parking spot. Again, right. Into right. Into left. And prepare to stop right about now. It appears... Ooh, 11 minute? This is why it's better off going front and back, unlike what frickin' Hennessy with the Venom just did like one way the speed test. But this is why it's better off doing front and back, so I have like a little bit more accurate result of like if I'm saving time by speeding or nothing like that. But the needles are in the way. It seems like 11 minutes, 49 seconds, 400 milliseconds. So same thing, 5 miles over, back to South Detroit Avenue. The first starting point. 3, 2, 1, go. I should have done it the very first time, clocking myself, even though like I said, I got the time code on the bottom and everything to show you how accurate the time is, and relying on this watch here to get the time estimates and stuff like that to do this experiment. No matter if I'm going the speed limit, 5 miles over, 10 miles over, any mile over, and stuff like that. And even speaking of it too, once I go 10 miles an hour, there's kind of a saying, even for like big city cops, small city cops, the state highway patrol. Am I gonna stop for the first time for traffic? Nope. Incoming car, 50 miles an hour again. Perfect. So I was about to say, for the like going 5 miles over the speed limit and everything, there is kind of a saying, if you're going over the speed limit, no matter if the OSHP, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, is like big time on your ass, which they're really starting to crack down on speeders, to be honest. Or if you're like in a small town like this, like Perrysburg, Maumee, Waterville, White House, or the Toledo metro regions, or whatever, where they got nothing better else to do than doing all the speed traps and everything. But there's kind of like a saying, it's my mom saying this, but there's kind of like a saying, like if you're speeding like this, they say 5, you're fine, or in 10, you're mine. Meaning 5 miles an hour, it's up to the cop. 10 miles, don't do it, buddy. 5 miles, they're like half and half. 10 miles, then they would probably get you for going 10 miles over the speed limit because you're speeding. That's what matters to them. Okay, downhill we go and into the next sign. So this will be 40 miles an hour. So I'm off cruise control. That car is gonna roll because he can't really see. I'm gonna brake a little bit and downshift to the 35 sign. 40. Good. and there's a guy crossing. I got plenty of room, so he's okay. Yeah, it's 35. I was thinking if I'm supposed to be going 10 over, I kind of lost count. Yes, 35. Unlike the first experiment where I was starting out at the end of Detroit Avenue when they closed off the Anthony Wayne Trail and South Detroit there, where they closed off that little cross street there, the little intersection where they put like a little cul-de-sac there of like future projects for the future, and just pretty much cutting off that axis to reduce like the chances of accidents and all that good stuff, and more accidents and pedestrian safety and everything. But I was going to start there for this video, but under my B-roll footage, compared to now, there's like a lot of construction vehicles, the roads like all torn up. It's like they're resurfacing the damn road again, even though they already surfaced the road and everything, making it for that cul-de-sac at the end of the road there, where it used to be just a cross street to go in between the Anthony Wayne Trail or continue South Avenue into the city of Toledo. All right, so stop sign is dead ahead. We got traffic for the first time. I turned it off. So we got traffic for the first time. Going to be coming up on a Honda Insight, a first gen model or a second gen model. So stop sign we go. This will now be 30 miles an hour in this section of Maumee. So here comes the 25 into 30. Right on the money again. I've been paying this car for like a year and a half, and I'm kind of like really learning the damn speed and when to kick in the cruise control, even though hard to use cruise control other than the highways, other than being on a public road like this, which is heavily discouraged. Bail on cruise control and fall in line with traffic, kids. Yes, we got traffic in this 12,000-ish person town, like 12 or 15,000 according to census. So he's gonna roll, and I'm gonna stop to not put any crazy discrepancies of me doing stuff like that, do a rolling stop and shave off a second doing stuff like this and fall in line with the straight traffic, and there will be a stop sign yet again. And let's see what the others do. Oh, it's a Civic Hybrid. Oh, CRC. I damn call that a damn Civic. It's a CRZ. Gotta learn my Hondas now. It's been a hot while since I've seen a CRZ, like that model of a car. So Honda did turn. We got is the Dodge Ram. I think this was before it became Ram. This model, or no? I don't know. And how fast will this car drive, this truck? Will they go about 5 miles? So I'm not gonna be riding their ass, nothing like that. So 30. And I do have a safe falling distance, thanks to that complete stop. And they are kind of pulling away from me, maybe like a couple feet per whatever seconds, I guess, maybe like a few inches per second pulling away from me. So I'm losing ground to them, which is good for a safe falling distance. So I'm not going to be riding up on them and lowering the speed limit and everything, the cruise control, and just not really be on top of this guy driving as so, trying to go above the 5 mile an hour like speed mark and maintain that speed throughout this run here. So the Honda Pilot driver seems to be going about 3 to 4 miles over the speed limit. I'm going to drop to 29. Now we're at 29 miles an hour. I don't know if this ghetto setup. I got to really drop down. So they are going about the speed limit. I'm not going to pressure them, so let's just back off a little bit and just maintain a safe falling distance throughout this run here. So they are going 25. They are going the legal speed limit like I first did. So not going to pressure them. I'm just going to keep a fairly safe falling distance. I'm going to back off a little bit if I can without going too stupidly slow. I mean, there's nobody behind me, but going to speed limit, but there's really no obstacle in front as far as I know, even though this is an SUV, but they're pretty much the only driver. But I'm not going to like act like a total fool, like a total jackass, like your stereotypical Michigander, just look all around, try to look for any cars up front, passing a solid last yellow line like this and make the illegal overtake rather than waiting for a dotted yellow line and make that legal overtake and give room for the biker and that car passing the biker. Quite a bit of biker traffic, I'll give you that. Well, technically cyclist by definition, not biker like a motorcyclist, a Harley Davidson, Kawasaki, Indian, this and that. So the driver is pretty much invariable, going from at the speed limit to a few miles above. I'm going 5 over, like as intended. I was going 6 briefly, but red light. We're still making good time. I think it's still, yeah, there's still the 11-minute mark as far as I know, going on to 12. Not too bad front and back, I believe, but I could probably maybe, I think for, oh, green light. Okay, here. Okay. Front bumper on the line, stop the timer. Okay, steady and good. I'm gonna stop and check the time on my watch, which you can also see the results there too. I mean, this is before editing. I'm not gonna be the guy who's saying, well, check there. All right, red light up ahead. Now the final part is going, let's see, am I gonna be the lead car? Yes. Going 10 miles over the speed limit. So a fresh red light. If the light turns green now, I'm gonna first reset and stop and then hit the green. So I'm gonna stop here. Okay, nobody behind me? 3, 2, 1, go. 10 miles over. 10 miles over is the new speed limit. So 25 into 35. Now, this is kind of risky here, being 10 miles over the speed limit. You can't really trust every Maumee cop or any small town cop if they got nothing else better to do, where they're going to really pull me over the first thing they see me if they got like the radar gun on or anything and pull me over for speeding, because this is speeding right here, kids. They'll hella get you if it's 15 over. They'll really get you if it's 15, but 10, that's a Yukon. It's not a Tahoe cop, but good, but it's a Yukon. But yeah, they'll really get you going starting at 10 miles an hour, usually at 10, but they hella get you within the double-digit mark, especially 15 miles an hour, because speaking of speeding, I believe the reckless speeding, what they declare it as reckless in the state of Ohio, is 25 miles over a posted speed limit. Seeing this is 25 here, if I'd be going 50, especially 51, it's got to be 25 plus, like 26 plus miles an hour, where they kind of bump up that hierarchy to really declare you legally as being reckless. I believe it's just a arrestable offense citation or just a regular old citation, a few points off your license and a hefty ass fine. But a reckless driving, the cops can arrest you on that, which I believe is just an arrestable bicyclist, arrestable offense ticket. And if they really get you again or whatever, then it's up to the cops to arrest you for driving recklessly by reckless speeding. So 3 feet is the law. Nobody on the side. Drive on the opposite side briefly. Good. Legal pass. Got a link. Mercury going slow. So going about, let's see, I'm kind of matching 28 miles. They're turning. Okay, good. Oh, let's see what's like turning. Gonna slow down. Downshift again. And then resume. 35 miles an hour. And here we go. Gonna make this turn. Recommended speed 20. Going 35. And we got a little geo. Slow down. Whew. So they are, I thought I was gonna meet them at the stop sign, but no. 25 it is for now. And cruise control is disengaged because I hit the brakes at that spot there. So going at the speed limit, there is traffic in front of this little geo tracker. Looks like another SUV, a Ford Explorer or some kind, like a 2010s model, and a green light up ahead, but we got a stop sign first. Gotta take a selfie. First, let me take a selfie and then go through the, it's probably, excuse me, gonna turn red. So they'll be turning. Nobody in the cross street at the intersection. Stop, go. Still green, yellow into red. And they'll have a green turn arrow. Even some occasions where this turn arrow takes a while to turn on, even though this traffic light is fairly new, when they did this Conant Street like revitalization, revamping this whole damn street, like I said, from 4 lanes down to 2, north and south on Conant Street in Maumee. This side of Maumee, the uptown section here. Yeah, even this camera too, it's kind of angling down quite a bit when I took this off and replaced the battery at the bottom door, because it's just Velcroed on there with some adhesive, like several adhesive Velcro strips. I kind of thought about, yeah, it's angling down. Look at that, man. Even with the freaking video editing here. Okay, a few seconds to go. I thought about using some sort of like basic, not like pure adhesive putty, like Subaru or something, like some moldable glue or whatever, which I kind of thought would be a bad idea, leaving all that residue. So I kind of thought using like the basic Velcro strips, but I believe the heat and everything and just taking it on and off, the wear and tear is just gonna pretty much kill the run here with the camera here being mounted on by the Velcro strips. And we do got traffic, so I cannot go 10 over. I was going about a net average of 7 to 8 miles over the speed limit. And here will be 45 at this 35 posted sign. So we got a car turning right and a new SUV. I think they went straight or turn right. So we got a Corolla. Justify my stop with this little Honda sedan. Good. I'm going to save my speed to 45. So they're going to be turning left. I'm going to hold off until I get a clearing. Oh, 2 drivers. The little Nissan SUV, and take a while for the Corolla. Here we go. Let's make up my time, go to 45. This is gonna be concerning. 10 miles over through a damn park. Foot on the brake, and probably put the paddle shifters on here in case I have to brake hard and downshift and improve my braking times if that really makes a difference or not, to like engine brake a little bit. So cross, anybody crossing? Car there, they're turning right, no pedestrians, good. There's a bicyclist on the right, but I think they've entered somewhere in the parking lot, but I have some concern driving at this speed. Yeah, just stay focused and don't screw up at the speed. And going 10 over in the park, here we got 2 pedestrians on the right side of the protected bike and walking path lane. Nobody crossing, just a couple of ladies. Nobody on the left on the benches or the picnic tables as far as I know. Looks like we're okay. And there's no cop. According to Facebook, some Maumee cop was like perched right here. This is a Maumee cop or Wood County Sheriff just perched right there in between the trees to capture speeders or something like that. And Grandma. Yeah, Grandma. How did she take that freaking long to turn left? That's ridiculous. A lot of people tend to do that. God damn. They take their sweet ass time on an occasion like that. I mean, she did the legal stop, but she could at least hit the damn gas a little bit harder and get out of my way a little bit sooner. But I didn't touch the brake pedal one bit, but the average driver would have probably pumped on the brakes a little bit to slow down and avoid a collision like that. But yeah, people tend to do that where they just take their sweet ass time and then pull out at the very last second. So we're coming to this guy very fast into the Monclova Township part. So off on the cruise control, 42 miles an hour. This will be 55 miles an hour just up ahead at the posted 45 sign. Okay, they're braking. Somebody is turning, a motorcyclist is turning, and the C-Max driver will be driving as so I can't trigger the speedo just yet, the cruise control, because there's a car in front of me. So I'm just going to be pretty much following suit, keep up maintain a safe following distance, and not tailgate, like hardcore tailgate, where I'm like a foot, 2 feet up the guys I ask like they do in the highways and this and that. Okay, here comes Dutch Road, so about 4 to 5 miles within that range over the speed limit, being behind the C-Max driver. So right turn we go again. I'm not going to be doing 60 miles an hour because, of course, there's that McDonald's. So I'm going to stay below 40. And then right signal, brake, begin to brake. Again. Nobody at my spot. Right. Into right. Into left. And for the first run at 10 miles over the speed limit on the stop. Looks like a 13 minutes, 3 seconds even. 13 seconds, 3 seconds even, according to my watch, going 10 miles over the speed limit, going from Detroit Avenue, South Detroit Avenue, to this funeral home parking lot, this spot here. So final try, one last try, again, 10 miles over, back to South Detroit Avenue, my very first starting point. All right, get ready to go here. So drive in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, my GoPro battery's getting low, so I should pretty much have enough battery life remaining here. If not, then use the frickin' dash cam footage or whatever. And we got a Ford truck turning left. Final turn signal. That's Ford drivers for you. And Ford Taurus coming up the hill. Yeah, it's Ford country, bitch, because we coast Detroit. 60 miles away, up on I-75. Yeah, you know the drill. Okay, anybody? Clear to left. Right. Kind of a roll, but yeah, it was kind of a roll. So 45 into 55. 10 miles over the speed limit going here, eastbound, back into Maumee. And we got a car way in the distance. I'm still going 10 miles above the speed limit. We're about to be coming down here. Here's my first exit, or not exit, my first initial like start-finish line for the in and out section, where my first finish line and starting line was at those apartment complexes. So downhill we go into Maumee, about to be exiting Monclova Township. So this will be 45 miles an hour. I got a little small sedan up at off cruise control. Downshift. Into a new speed of 45 miles an hour. Perfect at the downshift at 4,000 RPM. I don't even got an exhaust on here. It's just, it is what it is. Even though I kind of had some like basic things in mind, even though I don't want to hella tune the hell out of this car, even though this is more of a daily driver, I'm kind of like, once I get more financially stable, this car paid off and all that stuff, get myself more financially way out of my debt and everything else in general, I kind of had things in the back of my mind to like consider like joining the rest of the crew and get a freaking project car, something that is a cheap ass car, like not like your stereotypical like Miata boys or freaking E36 boys, this and that. In terms of like wanting to like a secondary car for like cruising around, this and that, was I was kind of mulling just to not be in the Miata club, the NA version, B, C, or D club, or eventually the NE if it comes out as one. I was kind of mulling on the back of my mind, like getting mainly the Saturn Sky, which is pretty much the same thing, but a different styling, off of the Pontiac Solstice, which are both based off of the European version, based off of the Opel GT, originated in Germany as an export model for mainly Saturn, and especially with Pontiac with the change of styling. But with the Saturn Sky, it maintained the design aesthetics and everything based off of the Opel. I kind of dig that car more than the Solstice a bit, because it seems like the Saturn's a little more aggressive in styling, and especially the Redline model, like the top-of-the-line performance model, you get 260 horsepower with a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and I believe a 5-speed manual, and it's rear-wheel drive, compared to this front-wheel drive car making about 280 horsepower with the 3.6 VR6 engine. And with this car in front of me, I am off cruise control and doing 6 miles over the speed limit, about 5 to 6 miles over, in front of this little Ford Fiesta sedan. And we're going to be also coming up to the stop sign, and we're going to be going 35 miles an hour than the posted 25 throughout most of River Road by uptown Maumee and along the Maumee River up until I get to the point at South Detroit Avenue. Okay, then we got a Gen 1 Camaro. Damn, that looks clean. So he kind of did a full stop. I'll give credit. Camaro, full stop. We did a full stop. Damn. That is rare for a 4-stopper in this area here. They don't really doing like 4-way stops like this to come to a complete stop and actually have the sanity to know what their right-of-way is of who stopped first and who pretty much has to go, which I believe if you were to stop on the same time at a 4-way stop, correct me if I'm wrong, in the state of Ohio, if you come to a 4-way stop and you believe you have stopped at the same time as the other drivers, I think the driver on the left, correct me if I'm wrong, the left has the right-of-way, regardless if they're going straight, left, or right. Because when it comes to 4-way stops, you stop at the same time, especially if you're turning, then it's almost like a stare down free-for-all. They just stare at you, go, you go. where they just have like a freaking waving battle, staring contest and all that stuff to like give people the hint that you gotta go, you stopped. Regardless too, if they stopped first and they have the right of way compared to me, saying like they stop now and then I stop like a whole second later. Legally, since they stopped first, they have the right of way because they stopped first than me. So they would be first in line to make their move at the four-way, and then me making my way after making a complete stop and verifying if any cross traffic is clear. Okay, green light. Let the little Fiesta go. All good. So I'm not going to really try hard at the stop sign. So I'm probably going to go 30. We're not going to go 35 that brakes real hard and be a stereotypical jackass in high performance cars, modified cars, racers, this and that. Okay, I stop first and I go. There was a Buick to my left who was approaching the stop sign. They're over the stop bar. Now they fully stop. And now they are behind me after come up to that stop sign as so. So no traffic up ahead, 35 miles an hour it is, and they're turning behind me. At least that situation, they handled it well, even though I was obviously first to reach the stop sign other than being at the same time or close to being at the same time. So 35 at the corner. Yeah, bitch. And we got ourselves, don't want to really turn on this, I think this is a Scatty or a Heli, this little Dodge, going the speed limit, 26 and 24 under the speed limit right now because of this car up front. Looks like a Jeep of some sort. It's like a Jeep SUV, if I'm correct. I didn't really see. Yes, the little Jeep Cherokee that is in front of us with this me and this little Dodge Charger in front with his acceleration plate. Cute. Okay, coming up, we got the Charger as well as the Jeep turning. Let's see. Scat, 392. He's going to be following him. I thought he was going to go balls deep and just, you know. Okay, 35 again. No, 35. Stops. God damn it. I got to slow down and stop yet again. This is the first time I'm stopping at this stoplight. So off cruise control. Prepare to stop, which is probably going to come with like a rolling stop once this turns green. So let's see. Red it is, up until the point. Prepare to stop once I accelerate and get at the stop bar and see what the time we get. So stop. And then eventually when it becomes green, go. So acceleration and good. So a time, let's say pull into the spot again where I parked. Looks like a 13-ish minutes, I believe. Let's find out right here. 12 minutes, 41 seconds even on the watch. Whatever it says for accuracy with the time code would really contradict if I got it on point or not on point, driving 10 miles over the speed limit for my final run here.
Now to analyze my drive time, starting with the actual time getting to my destination. Going to the funeral home without going over the speed limit took 13 minutes, 59 seconds, 88 milliseconds, and going back to my starting point took 14 minutes, 26 seconds, 366 milliseconds, which is a difference of about 27 seconds. Going 5 miles over took 11 minutes, 49 seconds, 592 milliseconds to the funeral home, and 12 minutes, 13 seconds, 950 milliseconds back to my starting point, which is a difference of roughly 24 seconds. Lastly, going 10 miles over the speed limit took 12 minutes, 2 seconds, 956 milliseconds to the funeral home, and 12 minutes, 35 seconds, 455 milliseconds, which is about a 32.5 second difference. For the time it took to the traffic light on Conant Street, it took 5 minutes, 17 seconds, 666 milliseconds on my way to the funeral home, and 8 minutes, 19 seconds, 315 milliseconds going back to South Detroit Avenue. Bumping up to 5 over, it took 4 minutes 24 seconds, 898 milliseconds going to the funeral home, and 7 minutes 37 seconds, 907 milliseconds to reach the stop line on my way back as the light was already green upon my arrival. Going 10 over, it took me 4 minutes 8 seconds, 882 milliseconds to reach the light, and 7 minutes 20 seconds, 407 milliseconds on my way back. And for reference, the time the traffic light took for me to get the green light took about 37 seconds to the funeral home without speeding and roughly 55 seconds coming back. Going 5 over took the least amount of time of about 12 seconds to the funeral home and 0 seconds as the light was already green. And going 10 over took 48.5 seconds to the funeral home and 39.5 seconds coming back. For the average time of my drive, it took an average time of 14 minutes, 12 seconds, 727 milliseconds without speeding. Going 5 over took an average time of 12 minutes, 1 second, 771 milliseconds, and going 10 over took an average time of 12 minutes, 19 seconds, 206 milliseconds. This probably explains why I got a better time going 5 over because of the short wait time at the traffic light on Conant Street waiting for it to turn green compared to the 10 over traffic light times. And lastly, the average time it took to reach Conant Street in each direction took an average of 6 minutes, 48 seconds, 491 milliseconds without speeding. Going 5 over took an average of 6 minutes, 1 second, 402 milliseconds, and going 10 over took an average of 5 minutes, 44 seconds, 645 milliseconds. So with me going the speed limit, then going over the speed limit 5-10 miles or something like that, was it really worth saving at least like a minute or two off of my drive time? It can be worth it to save time, but the thing is, if you're going over the speed limit, you're still breaking the law in terms of you going over the legal posted speed limit, thus in the legal chance, you're speeding, regardless if a cop pulls you over for you going over the speed limit and all that stuff. So I did save a little bit of time other than going at the posted speed limit throughout the entirety of the course front and back, and then going 5 miles over and then 10 miles over. Saved roughly a bit of time compared to driving at the speed limit. So yeah, I saved time, but the thing is, by going over the speed limit, you're kind of jeopardizing yourselves legally, your own safety and others' safety, including people's property or other lives too. So if I were to use a calculator to give you like an idea in terms of like how time would be saved, if I were to use a calculator which will measure for time, which time would equal distance divided by speed, I would be saving roughly like a minute or two off of my drive time, driving this 6.5 miles off of the drive front and back, which according to Google claimed about 14 minutes front and back in each direction, going about the speed limit throughout the entire course, whether it was 25 miles, 35 miles, 45 miles, this and that, 5 miles, 10 miles over the speed limit. Yes, you'll be saving some time going over the speed limit, but going at the speed limit in the legal standpoint, yes, you're better off going at the speed limit to reduce the chance of you being pulled over and reduce the chances legally of hitting somebody, hitting any property, or endangering yourself or others alike if you're going well over the speed limit versus going at the speed limit. Yes, you'll be saving some time, but you could be jeopardizing yourself or others alike. So anyways, that'll do it for my field experimentation of driving at the speed limit versus going over the speed limit. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future. So this is TRIZE Rising Up and signing out.